Welcome to the Check20 podcast. Today we will be covering Origins. Now, last time we went over the conflicted origins, had some interesting lore discussion. We're probably going to do something similar this week, but we are going over neutral origins, origins that they don't. So I said the conflicted is like they are allergic to one another. The
Yeah.
magic itself hates one another. This time they are complacent, they're ambient, sort of just existing. I am Shrek or Mr. Shreckles, the lead designer and creator of Check20. With me, as always, I have Aaron, our lead engineer. Say something, Aaron.
Hello.
It's not. No, cut it.
No.
I'm just kidding. No, it's perfect. So I will also be trying to over here try to make sure that I'm swapping the origins over so we can see just a basic list of the current spell book as it stands right now with the spells that we have. Now, magical origins are not just spells. It also equates to classers. It equates to monsters have origins as well. Species, all of them are tied to a specific origin. So when I say an origin, I do not just mean a spell origin. There's plenty of features and interlinking things. And as we've continued to mess with spellcraft, spell casting, and things like that, we've definitely found different links and different ways that magic works. And I've rebuilt, and I probably will rebuild it, and I'll rebuild it again, spell casting. So just know everything we go over might change from time to time. I am working on keeping transparent and very audible about the changes that I make. So bear with me. There's a bear with me. Anyways, so Aaron,
Yeah.
where did we leave off?
What
What do
was
you
the
remember
last
last
one?
time? I remember exactly. We have the notes in front of us. I don't know if you're just playing this game with me or what, but we left off last time on neutral origins, as I said,
Yeah.
basic magic. So we're starting basic
We did leave
today.
off on basic. That's right. I
Yeah,
remember.
basic magic. Well, before we go over it, it'd be kind of fun. What do you think basic magic is? As a you play the system, but you don't like you're not in
Yeah.
depth knowledgeable of the lore, right? So what do you think?
Yeah. Basic feels like, and I think I'm going off of what I think you said last time, um, which is like it's not really innate. It's like learned almost, right?
That's pretty close. I would say it is ambient. It's those ambient
Ambient. Yeah.
magic
Okay.
source. It's like pure mana, right? Could
Mm-hmm.
almost could almost just change basic to pure, but I feel like that gives it too much power, right?
Yeah.
Basic is also what you get when your class doesn't give you any mana, any access to spells, but you put 2 points into spirit, giving you one mana, right?
Yeah.
So what that's your access to spellcraft, whether you deserve it or not, whether
It's
you get it from your class.
Yeah, it's the vanilla of the magic
It's
ice
what
creams.
it's what everybody in the setting can do if they just applied themselves.
Mhm.
So basic magic exists everywhere and in everything. It's the magical equivalent to gravity.
Yeah.
Most people do not think about it, but they interact with it quite frequently. So it isn't linked to a single source. Instead, it
Mhm.
draws from the ambient mana of the world. Do you like mana or mana? I'm always
Mana
caught
sounds
between.
pretentious, so I would
Okay,
say mana.
okay. So it draws from the ambient mana that fills
Mhm.
the world. One of the biggest differences between Shek and Earth is
Yeah.
the mana that's everywhere. Mana is actually I have thought about this. It is a catalyst. It is the
Hmm.
reason that evolutionary lines are stranger than ours. It's the reason that we see humanoid things everywhere. It's because mana sort of shapes the setting,
Yeah.
you know, into whatever we want it to be technically, but also probably the reason that gods exist, or is a I don't know if mana exists because gods exist or gods exist because mana exists, right?
That could be
Because
the
a
chicken
lot
or the
of
egg of the of your world.
100%, a
Yeah.
lot of my deities that I've crafted, um, a lot of them are like the first, or there's a lineage of them, which means that they've achieved sort of this place in the hierarchy, which means that they have to like I feel like there is a connection to mana there. So, one thing to note about basic origin magic is I personally do not see this as someone that is a weak or rookie mage, right? So I
Yeah.
think path in which uh you're a purist. You're not someone that has chosen, like, you made a pact with a demon, or, a lightning elemental flew up your ass. You are someone that grasped mana and made
Mhm.
it to what you want to be. You're a purist, you're untainted or altered by originic magic of any kind,
I
right?
think basic has like a negative connotation to it.
I think
And
we've
you
put one on
mentioned,
it for sure.
yeah, well, just like we as a society.
Basic
um,
bitch has ruined everything.
yeah. I like the idea because you mentioned being like a purist. That could also have a negative connotation, to be honest. But
There's a specific group of people that
yeah.
made it pretty negative.
But I feel like having a it's I feel like I like purist more than basic,
Yeah.
or like pure, or just pure magic, I guess would sound better
It's
than basic.
definitely something
Something.
I could make a note. Like,
Yeah.
basic maybe isn't the right word here.
Mhm.
Pure, pure maybe is closer, but again, there's like all those negative connotations that come along with pure bloodlines and pure things like that.
Yeah. I
Which is
mean,
probably why we
that's
landed on basic.
well, I mean, like,
That's plot, baby. Is that what you're
yeah,
gonna
that's what I
say?
mean. That's like
Yeah.
it's plot. I mean, like, I feel like maybe the Empire uses pure magic because they feel it is the purest form of magic, you know? I mean,
I didn't think about that. I honestly
right?
assumed the Magi used arcane, but if they're using
Hmm.
basic, that's actually a lot more interesting, I think. Where
Yeah,
it's
and they
like,
call it pure magic. So, and that's just something that stuck around. Cause
well,
I don't know.
fucking change everything, huh?
We could lean into the
Yeah.
racism like a
Let's
as a story
never
plot.
leave. Yeah, as a plot though.
As a
Because as
plot,
a
yeah.
plot, yeah, who feels so good to destroy racism as a plot.
Yeah.
Uh, dude, new campaign idea. This terrible ruler takes over. How you doing? Anyway,
The only instance I feel like we've had with or in encounter with Empire at all was our evil campaign, the last, and they took over the town that
it's
we basically destroyed. That was the
it's
closest we've
pretty
ever gotten.
it's pretty infrequent, and I've done so on purpose because
Yeah.
they are supposed to be this like extremely intimidating force.
Hmm.
One mage is supposed to be like they could TPK a whole party effortlessly. So to
Yeah.
put authorities in front of you like that, if it goes bad, it goes campaign endingly bad and
Hmm.
anticlimactically too.
Yeah. I don't know.
The fucking
I
lore
feel like
episode was fun.
you could lean into the pureness of basic magic.
Moving on to chronomancy. Now, before I even read what I wrote down, this is my least favorite right out the gate. I hate timey-wimey stuff.
Um,
There's no
yeah,
the cleanest timey-wimey stuff is the timey-wimey stuff where they acknowledge it's timey-wimey stuff and move on. Like Doctor Who has like a lot of fun moments where he's just like, it's Doctor Who, it's a, it's you wouldn't get it. It's time stuff. Like
yeah,
that's a better explanation than like trying to explain it in some interesting way.
pseudoscience. Yeah,
Yeah. So chronomancy is probably the most powerful origin, therefore the most regulated. Focuses on more of observing the timeline rather than changing history. You can see fragments of what was, what is, and what might come to be, right? That is my cleanest version I can get. It's almost a divinity or divining, right? The soothsaying in a
yeah.
way. That being said, there is some abilities and creatures and stuff that are not that. One of which, time magic is the most regulated by several different authorities. You personally have been in a campaign where you have seen the creatures chronovores that I
Mm.
created, sort of xenomorph like. They have a. I didn't get a good image of it. I was working on a drawing, never finished it, but their brain, like a xenomorph, kind of extends out, their skull extends out, but it dissipates, it becomes intangible, and then it loops back around through the tail. They are a loop. These creatures
Yeah.
are creatures that hunt outside of displaced time. So anybody that moves outside of normal space time, that's where they are living, and that's where they're stalking and preying. You guys got legendary items, so you absolutely destroyed them, but
Feel like that is I've seen that, like I used to watch the CW Flash show.
yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, and they had like if he was in the timeline for too long, he got chased by a yeah, like a
Yeah, weird
time
time
monster or
speedster and
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah. So
They
it's a
they do not do it
yeah,
elegantly, but they don't have to because it's a CW show. They're just
yeah.
like I didn't watch a lot of it. I've seen most of it. That's what's funny. I've seen most, if not all of
Yeah.
it, but I
I've
haven't
seen most
watched
if
a
not
lot of
all.
it.
That's fair.
Devin put it on recently as a sleep show, and
Mhm.
his daughter and son were in a lot of it. They're like they just showed up from the future. They're like, "Oh, you're my dad. Sorry, cat's out of the bag. You're my
Uh,
dad.
I
Anyways,
guess I
my
haven't seen that
dad."
far into it. I
Yeah,
must be
like
missing. I've seen
that's
like
how far they go.
almost all of it religiously, and I guess I
Yeah,
missed the last season or something.
the last couple of seasons gets very timey and not for the best, I'd say. So beyond chronovores, there's probably a bunch of minor angels or creatures of Cronus, one of the seven, regulator of time itself. As I mentioned, celestials are galactic. They're literally galaxies in the sky. Kronos is one of those. Uh, each of those galaxies regulates some part of multiple parts of the universe. So Kronos is more regulatory body of time. I also thought about like a bureau of time could be fun. Like if Kronos had like a bureau of time. Like, did you watch the Loki show?
Hmm.
So something like that.
There is a tiny bit of a precedent for that. If you remember, I did the Dungo Explosion, and I had a lot of fun creating that dungeon. Just the idea of random dungeons coming out and then them getting heavily regulated by like turned into
Yeah, the
theme parks
government.
essentially.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
And
really good idea.
one of the players I was playing with, one of the players I was playing with, he was a smoke insuri, but he worked for like a bureau
Bureau,
of like yeah of
I
some
like it.
of like timey wimey time cops or something. So there's a
Listen to
tiny
the
bit of a
time.
precedent.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
there's a tiny bit
do
of a
like
precedent for it.
that.
Yeah.
Sylvie is named after the female version of Loki, also. So
Yeah.
like we're fans of that. It does time well. It does time travel well.
Hmm.
It's not clean, obviously. There's like some loopholes and things like that, but They kind of tie it up at the end. Wink, if you've seen it.
Agency of Temporal Affairs is what we ended up calling it.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, okay.
The ATA, because the ATA sounds nice. So
I like that. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
A really good set of letters will set any faction apart for
Mm-hmm.
sure. Especially something like that where you're trying to do a bureau, you're trying to do, and it works really well in the noir 1920s
Yeah.
setting that we're trying to build here. Um, I think we should definitely make a note to try to like do an episode for each origin, create an encounter,
Yeah.
and then in that the chrono encounter, we should definitely include like a bureau, like doing some fun bureau mishap
Yeah, that'd be
travel
sick.
stuff. Like imagine fuck no, let's not do that. We're not building it right now. But you're like you're fighting a necromancer or a dragon or a demon or something, and you're just like, you will now die. And the portal just opens up. Yeah, is this Kills Modius Norman Norman? Your last name's Norman? Yeah, anyway, so you were using some chronomancy just now, right? I did like a brief time stop. Anyways, so discussion point: why are time travelers always weird? Tell me, Aaron. Why is that? Why is that
Because
actually true?
timey-wimey stuff makes you go insane.
Sure. Yeah.
At least
Also,
that's
if
the way
you've
I like to,
lived several lifetimes,
Mhm.
one thing I like to think about is the fact that in our ears we have little crystals, right? And if those crystals get moved, shaken, or whatever, it can be bad. Which is why, like, that's how like psionics work or whatever, maybe.
Mhm.
So there
Mhm.
could be some other process in which that's disturbed through time travel. Could be interesting. Like, oh fuck, I've upset your biological clock. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have jumped us forward. Yeah, something like that. Is there, or have you seen, or have you thought of any easy ways to prevent timeline distortion stuff that you see in media? Who does it right? Who does it wrong? We've kind of already gone over a bit of that. I like
Yeah.
Loki. I don't love Loki. Doctor Who's fun. Uh, one of the better ones is the Terminator can only move backwards or forwards.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't
I
know if
like
they did
that.
it
Yeah.
forwards, but
They did not.
do you have a preference or any other notables?
I am a fan of timey-wimey bullshit. Um, and if you've ever seen the movie Predestination, I feel like that's a really fun psychological thriller. If you haven't, you should really check it out. It's all
Ethan
about
Hawke.
time.
That's on something. I think that's
Yeah, you gotta watch it.
on
You
Netflix
have
or
to
something.
watch it.
Dude, you gotta watch it, dude.
You gotta watch
You gotta
it.
see it.
No, but seriously,
All right.
really good
Yeah.
psychological movie.
So
You know, like
psychological
a
too.
fuck
That should be
fuck
fun.
with you. Yeah.
Sweet.
So
So
that did some cool things. I like the restriction of things like the Terminator where you can only go backwards, you know.
moving on. Life magic. I did this for basic. I'm gonna throw it back at you again. What do you think
Yeah.
life magic is?
Um Life magic is life, but it's also death.
Sure.
It's the
You knew the answer to
both
this one.
yeah, it's both the presence and absence of life, right?
Uh, yes, and I also have it covering some other interesting stuff. So it covers
Yeah.
growth, mutation, disease, adaptation, undeath, and
Mm,
death.
okay.
So it represents biological change in all forms. The One of the questions I have for life origin, if I could somehow take the origin and question it, is where does rot stand? Is that nature or is it life? Is nature a subsect of life? Is crystal? Is you know dragon? Because they're all living creatures. How does that
Yeah.
play? But I think life origin is specifically just living creatures. Life can be touched by nature and everything like that. I think it's just theming. It's how you present the magic. It's how you channel it, right? It's weird, it's niche, but I don't the only I think the only fix to because I wanted to cover healing as well as it and
Mm-hmm.
regeneration as well as lichdom, essentially.
Yeah.
So life magic, um, cleanse, dark revival, exsanguinate, suppress
Yeah.
menstruation, things that are pivotal to life. So
Sounds
to
so
call,
specific.
yeah, it's a lot of blood stuff. It's like Bloodmancer and stuff definitely fits
Yeah.
into this.
Suppress
The
menstruation sounds like the result of a very specific request from a very specific
You know what it
like
was? It was
encounter or something.
yeah, it was like a niche thing where I was like, man, how would you deal with having menstruation if you were in a world like Shaq? Fucking, you probably just cast a spell and remove the motherfucker. Like,
Nope.
easy as that. The life mage is a good representation of like someone that devotes themselves to the life origin. They
Yeah.
start their path as being able to link two people's life force together. So one person take damage, they both take half, kind of thing. And then that leading into preventing the death condition. And it just it gets crazier where you get a soul jar, and then you have an army of minions that watch that soul jar for you. And if you die, you return to that soul jar no matter where you are. So it's just pure lichdom built into the mage class right away. It's Voldemort, it's Jesus Christ, Dorian Gray, Sauron, all the best liches in media. If you're trying to think of some interesting ones, those are my favorite to bring up. Um,
Well,
but it's also not just like a necromancer class either. Like I said, like you can link two different life forces. You're cleansing people of curses and things like that. So it does lean towards a necromancer, but all of them kind of do. You can flavor all your spells as such. You know. First discussion point is undeath a part of life? Should every spellcaster be able to raise the dead, or should origins be much more limited in scope? What do you think?
I always lean more towards limitations because I feel like they're funner to role play.
Not everybody
Um,
likes a limitation though, especially the
yeah,
younger you are. Yeah, not everybody likes limitations in
yeah.
their systems,
I've
but it
I've
also feels
never. Sorry, I was just
it's
gonna
so
say
limited. That's all I'm saying.
I've never understood like the want to immediately go to God mode and like be all powerful and everything is easy from then on out. I it's never been, and that's
Um, I understand it if because I had it when I was younger, playing GTA or anything like that.
mhm,
Uh, if you feel oppressed and everyone around you is telling you what to do, you're not able to escape your dead end
yeah,
job or whatever, you're gonna want to feel free. And a lot of the times, you get mods and stuff where you're just Goku, and everything, or you're just godly and
yeah.
everything can't be killed because you need a win, and I get that part of it.
That said, I also don't like the opposite either. I am not a huge fan of Souls-like games. So,
Sure.
like, overly difficult for the sake of
Balance.
difficult. Yeah,
Balance is
I'm
always what we're
a huge
trying to
proponent of
achieve
balance.
here. In TTRPGs, difficulty is not fun
Yeah.
because it usually comes down to you. Man, I hope to God you roll high, and that's not fun. I'm sure
Yeah.
like rations and stuff like that. If we wanted to track those, that could add a layer of challenge. But it's also like I don't want to force that on somebody that doesn't want to play that game.
Mhm.
If someone like we're playing a sort of a campaign right now that could be ration tracking, water tracking, and stuff like that. I'm not getting the
Very
vibe that
easily.
you guys want to do that, so we're not doing it. You know, I don't think the current group as a whole would be for something like that. And magic kind of negates all of that in a huge way. Uh,
Yeah.
and I'm still trying to figure out what the balance is for that. One of the big things I think that life path, the life origin has evolution, mutation. I think it describes that the best because that could be nature, that could be like tech or like the misuse of magic. But I think life as a origin describes what evolution and mutation is the
Hmm.
best. I think it's a clean way to do that. The next origin we're going over is tech origin. Tech covers engineering, machines, vehicles, communication, invention, right? Cars, radios,
Yeah.
tanks, aircraft, assistants, clockwork, mechanical, everything. Tech really pushes for the setting, right? It tests the setting also, because we are noir, we are industrial, but it can really easy get out of a grounded 1920s feeling when you're like summoning, hard light holograms and stuff like that, right? It's really
It
easy to take an aircraft and then you add tech magic to it and all of a sudden you have a fighter jet and well that's not very 1920s anymore, is it? I think it
yeah.
is I think it is pretty fun to try to push for the 1920s element of it. You've played a crafter before, an artifacts mage,
Hmm.
and I definitely tried to, as much as possible, be like, how can we bring that? How can we describe that in a way that's not just a deployed turret that feels like
Yeah.
a robot? Yeah.
It's kind of funny because I feel like all of that goes out the door as soon as you enter the city of Entera.
Yeah. There's gonna be certain places where it's just, oh, this is just cyberpunk. That's all this is. Because
Yeah.
cyberpunk really fits in the noir setting, so it's hard to stay away from
Yep.
it. Yeah. Cyberpunk is just noir with uh glowing everything and robot arms, right?
Hmm.
You can take any black and white movie, add color, add robot arms. It's the same thing. Tech origin is also a really easy tool for anybody that wants a lower magic experience. I feel like just banning tech origin immediately puts it a little bit further back, right? Ban tech, ban guns, all firearms are out. It's like, oh, we can easily rock medieval right now.
I think it's also kind of interesting that you put tech under the mage class because, like, I feel like it's always like, you have the mage or the engineer, or the
Mhm.
artificer. I mean,
Because
yeah.
technology, when it gets to a certain point, feels magical, right?
Hmm.
I could have put it under. Technically, it's under everything, right? There is a origin per path, per talent for
Yep.
every class. Like there's a tech for the tank support, everything like that. The big difference is that every mage can access tech spells. A
Mm.
necromancer has access to deploy turret. So every mage can deploy tech, can overload systems. Create a pressure plate, throw grenades. Out of pure mana, flashbang, Halo Taxi.
That's awesome.
The one that's like, wait, hold on. You said a You also said Halo Taxi. I noticed. Yeah, there's a little Halo Taxi here.
I just imagine like the same way someone summons a minion, they just summon a taxi, and
Yeah,
it's the taxi from Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
that's really good, but not what's going on here. I will take some time to go over it. There is a taxi, it needs to say Union, and this is just a signal. The
Mm.
the more points you put into it, the further the signal goes, though. which is kind of a fun thing. You're like in the forest.
Oh,
We're like, guys, I don't want
yeah.
to be here anymore. And it just meep, meep. Taxi shows up.
I
Ew. Yeah, you guys are
just
a bit lost out here, huh?
I want them to be like the person that takes you across the river Styx, but
No,
like it's taxis.
no,
Yeah.
because that's Behemoth. We talked about this. Um,
But like, the same kind of like, you know,
yeah, that feeling, that vibe, as it were.
yeah.
So one of the other things is mana storms. I don't think I've run anything with you where we had a mana storm. Mana storm is kind of what it sounds like, or the opposite of it. A
Mhm.
mana storm drains all mana from the area. Doesn't
Oh.
cause a lot of wet, like it doesn't dampen your clothes or anything like that. Uh, just falls almost through you more than it does on you. But when it hits something with mana, like something infused with mana, it drains mana from it.
Mhm.
This started because so many creatures started making magical items and things like that, locking away mana from the natural order. That
Mhm.
I think, I don't know if it's basic or nature or whatever the storms are from, uh it needed to get its mana back. So this is the storms literally just bring it back. Anything that's left out or whatever.
So the storms are a natural or a way the world is
Rebalancing.
corrects an imbalance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my question kind of to myself, almost like a just a discussion point, is if you build a car through natural means, you know, is there mana in that? If you summon a car, obviously you summoned it with magic. It's being drained in a storm.
Mhm.
Uh,
Hmm.
how much tech is tech? You know, I guess is the question.
Kind of the way you explained hailing a taxi, it's the act of hailing that's the magic.
Right.
um, but the taxi itself is still technically science. It's still technology.
Yeah. But
Um,
at what point does, if you put enough spell points into it that it is permanent, would it be affected by a storm? That's sort of the question that
yeah,
I'm
that's a
posing,
good
right?
question.
Um, nature magic, is it affected by mana storms? If
Oh, hmm.
summoned creatures and stuff like that, obviously they pop, but you
What
know.
would a tech storm look like?
Oh no, I didn't even think about that. I wasn't saying there's individual storms. Like I think it's
Yeah.
pure, it's mana, it's pure
Oh,
mana
okay.
storm. So it's like
Okay.
basic origin probably. Maybe
Interesting.
elemental,
Okay. Okay.
but I think it would drain tech. Fucking tech storm sounds fucking fun though.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Fuck, man. What is
um,
that?
I don't know. Um, but when the last time I played a tech mage, the way that I described the way my magic worked is kind of like in the Lego games when they're just going like this and then they make something
Yeah,
and it looks like magic and then they make
it's
something.
it's so similar to that.
Yeah, that's
But
the way I liked
I
describing the way my
really,
magic looked.
uh, Killian ran a character that used tech magic,
Yeah.
but in the opposite way,
Mhm.
where every spell point was a grenade or was some piece of you know junk on him
Mhm.
that was the spell points. I love it when people do stuff like that. One of the characters in my book, the Trinity of Plague book, that'll probably never come out, her feathers, she's a vulture folk, and her feathers, each feather is a spell point, is a mana. So that's kind of
And
fun.
and we could kind of go back to what you said about the way you like magic or timey-wimey stuff is explained in certain things is it's just like, don't think about it too much. It's tech magic. Whatever.
Yeah, right. It acts the same way. Yeah, that's a good point. You got me there, dog. One of the last things I want to talk about with tech is what separates arcane and tech. They both rely on
Mm,
study, knowledge. One is
mhm.
more material, like you have your mana is materials, where arcane, your mana forms itself via knowledge, study,
Yeah.
writing. In Avatar The Last Airbender, it's sort of the difference between being a mage is casting spells. Being an arcane mage is casting runic magic or whatever. Being a tech mage is casting tech magic in a very specific way. Avatar: The Last Airbender, being a firebender is knowing fire spells. Being a high end, being a specific, you can be a lightning bender, right? Being an
Mhm.
earthbender and being very specific about it, you can be a metal bender. And I think that's the difference between being a mage or being an arcane mage or being a tech mage is the specificity of which you've built your character, what you use your magic for. Um, I guess the last thing that I have here is we talked about it. Does hailing a taxi ruin a wilderness campaign? Is that something a narrator would just deny?
I think that really depends on your players. With the players that we have now, I think we would think it's really funny, so we would allow it,
No.
right? But there's certain like more serious players where I think is like, well, that doesn't make sense. I hate this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I guess do I need a balance for that too? Is a pretty
I feel
decent
like
question.
that's a narrator thing.
It's per person sort of thing. All right. Getting into crystal magic now. Crystal magic I have built to focus on psionics, mental power, and a lot of like binding and storing magical energy. It feels like the bridge between physical and mental power because you can create a crystal weapon or you can create a psionic beam. I think lot of crystal's identity comes from control rather than raw force, though. One of the major things that inspired that, the reason I was like, "Oh, you know what? I'll do psionics," is radios. Did you know that they used to make
Mm,
radios with crystals?
yeah.
Like
Okay.
old crystal radios. It was the simplest type of receiver. It required no power externally, didn't need a battery or anything like that. Powered entirely from the crystal itself, from radio waves. Uh,
Interesting.
Isn't that just like, and like we say that there's nothing to crystals, right? They're just rocks. It's like, well, we made technology with them. I feel like maybe they have a little bit of something to them, a little spice, right? There's
Yeah.
gotta be something to it. So crystal origin is that where they can receive waves. There's some like communication abilities, and I remembered to do this. It is one of the ones that is lacking in an expansive spell list. You can summon a swarm. You can cause some distracting stuff. Uh, realm shift is in crystal. That's crazy. That feels misrepresentative.
My current character, my talent is crystal based.
Yep.
Claim, yeah,
Oh,
the
claim breaker.
claim breaker
Yeah.
is crystal based. Yeah.
Does it feel crystalline?
Uh, n- Now that you've explained it in the way that you see crystals, it makes a little more. It makes a little more sense. Yeah,
Oh yeah, hard light
because
stuff.
you kind of
Light
see it. You kind of
reflections.
see it beyond it just being a rock, like you said. Like what's the difference? That why is crystal in its own thing and not part of elemental? You know, that sort of.
Oh yeah, because yeah.
Yeah.
As like I said, it resonates, it has magic to it, it's interesting
Mhm.
beyond just being a rock.
It's
I
almost the bridge between, like, elemental or nature and technology.
and arcane, yeah. Like those
Yeah.
2 things kinda have a bridge. Crystal and elemental have a bridge. Crystal also has a little
Yeah.
bit of a bridge to nature too. I could
Mhm.
definitely see
Yeah.
crystals in, like a grove of some sort, but just hitting a little bit different. Yeah, encasers, prison mages, can be pretty cool with these options. The only thing that I have so far is Shardbind here, which definitely could get an improvement. As I've done with a lot of spells, you can there's a one, two, there's like 3 or 4 different options here. This specific
Yeah.
one, 1, 3, 9, skipping the 6, where you can summon these gigantic things or whatever. I think Shardbind definitely needs like a full encapsulate a creature or something like that.
Yeah.
You know. One thing I wanted to ask your opinion on is psionics magic, or is it like a mental? Like we don't have much as far as like specifically. There's a little bit, but psionicis or anything like that. Do you like the like mind flayers, right? I've been playing a
Mhm.
little bit of Baldur's Gate with the baby. That's all scions. Like, do you feel like
Um,
it fits?
I like the idea of psionics, you know? Um, so having them have a home somewhere in the mages, I feel like would, it would
Or at
make
least
sense.
having access
And
to it
yeah, and
through
the way
crystal.
you justified them being a crystal makes sense, but I don't think anybody's gonna like intuit that. They're gonna be like, "Why the
Yeah,
hell is a
needs to
psionic
be. I need
and the
to
crystal?"
like, oh, you gotta see gotta watch the pod to figure it out. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe I need to bring that up a little bit more somehow.
The
Um,
only other thing I could see psionics being a part of is like maybe life magic, but that's
right.
also kind of a stretch. So,
Yeah,
yeah, I
and
don't
I think
know.
they already get a little bit of that with like their life link stuff, depending on the
Mhm.
where you're accessing it.
Yeah, and that's another good point. Psionics doesn't have to be origin specific. Like there could be a version of psionic that's under tech, you know?
Yeah,
So maybe
I
it's
do.
just something that's can
Yeah,
be done
it's
differently
it's
depending on the origin.
it's a how, not a why, kind of
Mhm.
thing. Yeah. One thing, one other thing I wanted to bring up: psychic damage bypasses armor. It's the only damage type that currently bypasses armor.
Mhm.
Should we fear crystal origin users because of that? Usually when you see a floating crystal, now that you know like my design philosophy behind it, seeing a floating crystal is like, who's armored? You're fucked. Let's get out of here.
I
Like,
mean, I kind of like that, Chrono is scary for its own reasons. Life is scary for its own reasons. Maybe Crystal can be scary for its own reasons, you
yeah,
know?
but I think this has well, this has such a huge mechanical backing of psychic damage just going straight to someone's dome, literally.
Yeah.
Uh
Yeah.
Where like life is like, oh, we're gonna have to deal with him again because they are gonna regenerate
Yeah.
somewhere. Tech is like, well, I guess tech is also scary because it's like, well, they got a tank. What are we gonna do? Doesn't matter
Yeah.
how much armor you
Yeah.
have, they have armored vehicles. Yeah,
Mhm.
maybe they all just have their different things,
See,
huh?
that's what you do, and the way that a lot of magic systems balance that is by having a specific thing that is impenetrable by psionics. You know, like
Yeah.
maybe lead is impenetrable by psionics. Maybe it's like one
Mm.
specific element or something, or in this case, maybe a specific origin. I don't know,
I need to
something.
get no. I really need to get some more gear, some anti-psychic gear would be cool. Like,
Yeah,
even just an arcane rune.
yeah, a
I don't
specific
even know.
rune that's perfect.
Okay.
That way, it doesn't matter what material it is. It's whether it's been enchanted by someone
Yeah.
who is good at doing that specific kind of
Yeah,
rune,
I like
you
that.
know?
At least trying to negate psychic stuff because it is that
Mhm.
scary sort of thing. Like having maybe a support features that prevent like
Oh, yeah.
maybe the crystal for the support. I don't know what it is, but
Ooh,
um
that's a good idea.
having them prevent uh psychic damage could be huge
Yeah.
because support or support always needs support, dude. Uh Crypt art? Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's cool. They don't need it. They're fine. Um, lastly, one of the easiest ones to build for, but I haven't done much of it. Elemental magic includes stone, wind, fire, water, the usual suspects, but I also have a couple other ones: frost, lightning, smoke, and toxic.
Yeah.
Uh, most those are pretty much, oh, I get it right away. The only one I like to explain is toxic. Oh, and acid.
Yeah.
That didn't make it to the list. Acid is on the list also.
I was gonna say
Each of
is like, yeah.
well, also each of these is backed up by a species as well. The
Mhm.
realm split. We got the Insuri, air, fire, frost, lightning, smoke, stone, toxic, and water. We don't have an acid in Surrey. Why don't we have that? Have I just
'Cause they would be
absolutely?
too cool.
They'd be too freaking neato, dude. I
You're
don't know
just
why I'm
missing
putting,
acid.
dude. I've I've missed acid. Oh yeah, so yeah, getting into it a little bit. Toxic is a lot of people ask it if it is acid, and it's not. It is. I kind of see it as radiation, but I also see it as like pure sewer rot. Toxic is like a bright yellow, where acid is that like bright green, if that makes sense. It is a little different, but it's important when you're talking about plague versus just burning liquid, right?
I
Liquid
mean,
that
just like
burns you
toxic
really
is a
well.
little different than smoke, you know?
It's a lot different than smoke.
I mean, I don't know. How so?
Shut the- Smoke is just after effect of fire. It's shading, it's stealth, and things like that. Where toxic is, I radiation or did you see the Batman Beyond show from the 2000s
Oh,
where
yeah,
he has the all
bits and
black?
pieces, yeah.
Yeah. One of the characters in there is exactly what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
He like he loses his skin. He's just bright green and a skeleton form underneath.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
That leans into what I'm talking about. Uh, Toxic and Suri. I really need to replace all this. So yeah, this is one of the most, I think, universally understood. I really like playing Insuri. Insuri meaning elemental in Arabic, I believe, where I got
Mm.
that from. Yep. Well, the other thing about it is this is the element origin. All the other origin probably use, or I know for a fact they use elemental magic within their stuff, right? Like you create an arcane lightning rune or an arcane fire rune, you're using element, you're just taking from, everybody takes from elemental. Dragons,
Yeah.
I talked about it last time. Kalis came to the planet, absorbed all the elemental storms, put it somewhere else. Literally birthed all of the elemental dragons after that fact, the chromatic sort of
Yeah.
dragons. After that, borrowed from elements. Yeah, life magic, I feel like you're a necromancer, you probably lean towards like a toxic or smoke. There's so many other things that borrow from it. I feel like elemental is shit on, and I feel like there's definitely some plot points that could be used there.
Yeah, definitely.
One of my favorites is using crystal, and crystal, like I had crystal and elemental as conflicted, uh, but at a certain point I was like, everybody's conflict. Elemental's personally vengeful against everybody. I gotta just make it neutral because
Yeah.
everybody's using it. But like, yeah, crystalline creatures locking up elementals and utilizing their sort of things is a fun plot point where like two gods could go at it or something. So that feels like the end of the origins. Woo. Do you have any closing thoughts? Which origin has the best monsters, equipment, or spells? Is a fun question.
Hmm. I lean more towards tech stuff, so I feel like tech is gonna have the best
Yep.
equipment.
Basic has the most, but all of the basic stuff as
Yeah,
seem pretty basic. I am removing the minion spell from the basic origin because I have created much more specific summons, and I
that's a good
feel like
idea.
minion is just outside the range
Yeah.
of a basic thing. Because
I
no
th-
matter what, when you summon a minion, you kind of want to give it some flavor. It's like, oh, it's a
yeah.
wolf. Okay, that's nature. Oh, okay. Well, then maybe it's just like a little automata. That's tech. Okay, it's a little guy. That's life. Fuck. You know.
um to answer the question who has my favorite monsters, I think Vosian probably
Yep.
has some of my favorite monsters
Yeah, I've gotten pretty
because
weird with those
they're
guys.
yeah, they get really weird in a good way.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think we are at the maximum number of origins, or could some be added in the future? Also, do you think origins should be limited?
Interesting. I didn't think about like origins being like something that evolves.
Manipulatable?
Yeah, malleable.
No,
Um,
manipulatable. We're trying to safe as a thing.
um,
We got a
yeah, I
lot of them.
mean,
Be
you
tough
got
to
a lot.
find one that
Like,
isn't
you can potentially, I could potentially see, like psionics becoming an origin, maybe.
doing its own.
Yeah, doing its
Mm,
own, maybe. And that covers a lot of mental stuff. Maybe it also includes like telekinesis and stuff like that. Um,
pretty sure telekinesis is in basic. It literally is.
yeah,
Yeah,
that
but
makes sense.
like, yeah. I don't think we
Um,
need more. Personally, I don't think we need
no, we
more.
don't.
Otherwise, I would
But
have had more.
yeah,
Uh, uh, but we'll see
mm,
as the game evolves and stuff. As other people start to play and get involved, might see some different versions of the game. I'm really excited. I
yeah,
need to also put in some ways for people to be able to edit damage tables for themselves, their own
mm-hmm.
campaigns, so that they
That would
can
be
have
cool.
their own like homebrew damage tables and stuff like that. Like, oh, I really
Yeah,
would like to see, XYZ happen, or make your own mistakes too. As we all do. Like, I play tested it, these work really well. That's why they are the way they are. I've gone through iterations of those. If you want to make them wild, You could
yeah,
definitely see someone like, I want more damage in this game. Okay, everybody give adding all sorts of stuff to it. And I want options to be able to do that, because that was my biggest gripe with 5e, playing online especially, is there's a lack of support for customization with
yeah,
base elements of stuff. So if I can find stuff, if I can get stuff in on the ground floor, it's much better. Um yeah, this has been an episode of Check20. I hope you enjoyed. Say goodbye, Aaron.
Goodbye.